And we are starting this bulletin with some breaking news coming in from Goa. Remember, it's one twist after the other, and now in a massive blow to the Goa Congress, veteran Congressman Pratap Singh Rane's son, Vishwajit Rane, has criticized the party leadership for its dwindling position in the state. He's also hinted towards a resignation from the party. Let's listen in.
No, I am totally disillusioned with the way the Congress party leadership has functioned. I have total faith in my leader Rahul Gandhi ji, but the way the Goa scenario was handled by the central leadership is very shameful. MLAs are disgusted and MLAs are upset because people of Goa gave a mandate against the BJP. This mandate, even if Mr. Manohar Parrikar is forming the government, he has got the numbers duly, he has got the right to form the government. But same time, when we were 17, we should have swiftly moved and discussed. When you're short of numbers, you have to take, and some compromises are always there, and that had to be taken into consideration. You can't, when a man like statue of Nitin Gadkari can come and sit in Goa and take a decision and finalize everything within 24 hours, here our leaders are unable to decide the CLP leader over 48 hours, and which is quite sad state of affairs of the functioning of the Congress party.
With this kind of disillusionment and this kind of grievance that you have, we're given to understand that you're now so upset with the party that you're looking at exiting.
I am disillusioned with the party. I have sent a mail to Rahul Gandhi ji. I am sure he'll read my mail, and there's a lot of pressure on me from my people to act.
And that action will be?
I don't know what that action will be, but I am under a lot of pressure, and I am under a lot of pressure from my group of MLAs within the Congress party that I need to take some decision. And the decision in the manner in which also the leader of opposition was selected, it was like auctioning posts to who you want. This is not the way a national party should function. BJP is at 13. You are at 17. Two independents are supporting us. Two independents plus one independent supported by Congress. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yet you are not able to form a government.
And that one person who you supported, Rohan Khaunte, switched sides also.
Definitely, if he is not able to, he's got obligations to his people. You cannot blame him.
All right, I'm joined by India Today's Deputy Editor Rohini Swami for more on this. Rohini, he's making a fair point. I mean, I don't know what's happening inside the Congress camp, but Vishwajit Rane has made a very valid point that the Congress had 17 seats. It was clearly leading the race in Goa, and the BJP had 13. But now the final picture is that it's the BJP that is forming the government. The next Chief Minister is from the BJP, who's going to take oath tomorrow. So can you please give us more details as to what is the level of frustration inside the Congress party?
Well, it is quite high for the simple reason that when I've been speaking to my sources in the Congress, and they have been saying they're quite upset with the fact that they had everything in their hands. They had their numbers also till 5 p.m. 2 days ago. They could have very well gone to the governor and shown their letter of support as well as formed the government. But the delay in decision making itself made them slip, the power slip from their hands. Now, that is why we've seen how Vishwajit Rane also has come out in the open and talked about how many MLAs within the party are upset. Because, see, for 5 years they've been sitting in the opposition. They've worked hard towards building the party, and they were hoping that they will at least get some kind of ministerial posts or power. As they have found that the mandate of the people, at least 17 seats have been with them. Now, looking at the fact that the Congress has been now has gone in and is going to be sitting in the opposition, the only thing they can do right now is being in terms of a good opposition, a constructive opposition, and nothing more than that. But here we're already seeing a split in the Congress. Vishwajit Rane is in his own, along with his MLAs who are supporting him. If they go out, it will be a big blow for the Congress because they're already reduced in size, and the image of the fact that a veteran leader like Pratap Singh Rane's son will be a blow not only for the image of the Congress here in Goa, but also on the whole for the fact that not only Goa, Manipur also we have seen what happened between the BJP and Congress. So the Congress will have to rethink their strategy very soon.
All right, thank you so much, Rohini Swami, for that update. It's interesting to see because how often does it happen that you're so close to forming a government, you're just 4 seats away, but it's the other party that eventually goes and forms the government. So while staying focused on Goa, let's also tell you what's happening inside the BJP camp, because Manohar Parrikar is all set to take oath as Goa's next Chief Minister at 5 p.m. tomorrow. India Today has accessed some inside information on the portfolio allocation. Sources have told India Today that a ministry of 12 will be sworn in tomorrow evening at an auspicious time of 5-6 p.m. The BJP has doled out at least 6 ministries to allies, 2 each to the MGP and GFP and 2 to independents who ensured its return to power in the state. Now, Sudhin Dhavlikar and another leader of the MGP have been promised top ministries in the cabinet. Vijay Sardesai of the GFP has been allotted the Plum Town and Planning portfolio. Senior BJP leader and former Deputy Chief Minister of Goa, Francis D'Souza, has been promised a Rajya Sabha seat for agreeing to vacate his constituency Mapusa seat for Manohar Parrikar. Alright, I'm joined by India Today correspondent Kamlesh Suta for more on this. Kamlesh, Parrikar is likely to take oath as the next Chief Minister tomorrow. Can you please give us some details on the preparations that are going on in the BJP camp?
Well, yes, it's not only preparations for the big swearing in, but also celebrations continue. It's the day of Holi in Goa and it is celebrated with great fervor. And BJP workers are celebrating. Just a while before, outside this BJP office, there were a lot of BJP workers who had gathered amidst slogan shouting for Parrikar and BJP. And yes, for tomorrow, what we are learning from our sources in the Goa BJP is that tomorrow evening, Manohar Parrikar is likely to be sworn in, and the Shubh Muhurat or the auspicious time has been decided at 6 minutes past 5 in the evening when Manohar Parrikar is likely to be sworn in on this auspicious time as the next Chief Minister of Goa.
Yeah, and talking about the Shubh Muhurat, it's 5-6 p.m. Kamlesh, a lot of hectic parlays are taking place as far as portfolios are concerned. Now, my question is, who's getting what according to your sources?
Well, they have to run a coalition government in Goa, and that is why there have been hectic parlays and deliberations and all permutation combinations have been tried. BJP has to manage 2 big parties and also 2 independents with them, so it's not going to be an easy task. It's going to be a tightrope walk. So what we are learning at this point in time is what formula has been worked out. 2 ministers will be sworn in from the Maharashtrawadi Gomantak Party, which has 3 MLAs and is supporting the BJP. So Sudhin Dhavlikar, the senior most leader of the MGP, will be sworn in, is likely to be sworn in rather as the Deputy Chief Minister, and 1 more MLA from the MGP will be sworn in as a minister. Then Goa Forward Party, 2 MLAs will be sworn in, including Vijay Sardesai and Jayesh Salgaonkar is what we are learning is likely to be sworn in, and then 2 independents who are supporting the BJP, Rohan Khaunte and Govind Gowde is likely to be sworn in as the minister, and 5 others from the BJP will be sworn in as ministers tomorrow. They are likely to be sworn in tomorrow. This is what we are learning, but this might change. The deliberations are still on, but according to sources, this is what is going to be the composition of the cabinet, which is likely to be sworn in tomorrow.
All right, Kamlesh, my last question to you is, because everybody has been asking this question and everyone is curious. So where does all this leave the Congress? Is it even trying to stay in the fight? Please give us details on the Congress camp's inside strategies.
Well, absolutely. The Congress was completely outsmarted by the BJP, having emerged as the single largest party in Goa. The Congress still could not manage to get support from these smaller parties like the Maharashtrawadi Gomantak Party and the Goa Forward Party. The Congress even could not decide on who their legislative party leader is going to be, and finally yesterday in a late evening development, Babu Kavlikar was appointed as the legislative party leader, but then it was too late. By then the BJP had already met the governor and stake claim for forming the next government in Goa, and the Congress was completely isolated at this point in time. What we see in a 40-member house, almost 22 members are supporting the BJP, with the Congress just claiming support from 1 NCP MLA, which also is not sure for them. Even the BJP claims to have support of that, but at this point in time, only leaving all the 17 Congress MLAs, the Congress finds itself completely isolated with no support coming in from any other party whatsoever.
All right, thank you so much, Kamlesh, for that update. We will keep coming back to you, because remember, Goa and Manipur are 2 states where 1 second after the other we are seeing dramatic twists, dramatic developments. Now, despite securing lesser seats than Congress in the Goa elections, the BJP appears to have won the war for the coastal states throne. BJP, which had won only 13 seats as compared to Congress's 17, staked claim to form the government with support of the Maharashtravadi Gomantak Party and Goa Forward Party. Meanwhile, the Congress has cried foul that the BJP, which wasn't the largest party in the polls and so lacked public support, has formed the government.
One thing I can promise to the state and my colleagues, that this is a mandate given by the people. Though we fell short of majority, that together we have completed the magic figure of 21.
16 घंटे के आपने पूरा चेंज कर दिया, इसको खूब बुलाते हैं आजकल कांग्रेस वाले।
रूप से जो पार्टियों ने किया है उनकी कंफर्ट लेवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ ज़्यादा, कांग्रेस की तुलना में ज़्यादा थी और उनको विश्वास था कि स्टेबल सरकार और विकास करने वाली सरकार हम ही दे सकते हैं, इसलिए उन्होंने गोवा की इंटरेस्ट में
कहना है कांग्रेस का कि मैंडेट उनको मिला था और आप सबसे कम, मानी जो आपकी सीट्स पहले थे उससे भी कम मिले हैं इस बार, फिर भी लोगों का विश्वास कांग्रेस पे था, पर बीजेपी खुद पुटिंग प्रेशर ऑन देयर सेटिंग अप द
मैंडेट
गवर्नमेंट।
मिला होता तो उन्होंने जाकर गवर्नर के पास अपनी मेजोरिटी स्थापित करनी चाहिए थी। आज इनको पूरा टाइम था। जो पार्टी अपने नेता का चयन नहीं कर सकती 17 लोगों में, उनका यह कहना कि हमको मैंडेट मिला, ये उचित नहीं है।